Look, we all know that society have told us that without a degree, you are useless. Without that piece of paper, you cannot become successful. But that is not entirely true. That piece of paper cannot decide what you can become and what you cannot become. Over this couple of years, the dropout rate of students in Nagaland have increased to 16%, which means that there are more students dropping out of college, dropping out of high school every single year. And that is very concerning because society have conditioned us. Society have told us that without a degree, you cannot become successful. And without a degree, you are a failure. But in this video, I'm gonna tell you a step by step, I'm gonna give you a step by step on how you can become successful, how you can get ahead in life, even without a degree. This video is not gonna be like any other videos that you find on YouTube. It is gonna be unique because I will give you a step by step, no fufu concept, no sugarcoating, just straight to the point. So, you have already dropped out of college, or maybe you have failed a couple of times and you are thinking about dropping out of college. Then here's exactly what you need to be doing. The moment you decided to drop out of college or high school or whatever it may be, the first thing that you need to do is to accept your reality. Meaning that you need to be honest with yourself about where you are in life right now and not pretend like everything is good or everything is bad. Just be honest with yourself and accept it because you cannot solve a problem if you don't accept it. So no matter what, even if you drop out of college or high school or university, you don't have to beat yourself up. You don't have to feel sorry for yourself. Instead, take responsibility and do what you need to do. And after you accept your reality, the next thing that you have to do is to master the art of self-education. See, the moment you decided that you want to drop out of college, that is the moment when self-education becomes the most powerful weapon. Now, self-education means asking questions, doing your own research, and going out finding an answer. You cannot just sit inside your room on your mobile phone and you cannot find an answer. You have to go out, meet people, and then ask questions and get an answer. That is called self-education. Unlike universities and colleges, where you are told by people what you need to study, when you need to study, and where you need to study, self-education, it is intentional. You have to be very intentional with what you learn. You have to do everything by your own. You have to do your own research, learn by yourself. You have to decide what you need to learn. And the best part is that you don't need any degree or any expensive courses. But here's the key. You have to be disciplined because there will be times, there will be days where you will not be motivated to learn. That is why you need to develop an unshakable self-discipline. Sometimes I wonder why people spend hours and years learning about things that they don't even care about. And yet, they spend their energy, their time, and their money to learn it. But why cannot people focus on learning things that will actually help them? Focus on self-education. Why cannot people put their heart and soul into learning things that will actually push them forward to succeed? That is why you need to master this art of self-education. You have to learn things by your own. But you cannot learn everything by yourself. Your brain cannot capture everything in one time. That is why you need to focus on one thing, choose a direction, and focus on that direction, focus on that goal. I'll give you an example. Content creation, you can choose content creation, e-commerce, affiliate marketing, pig farming, whatever it may be. There are varieties of options. So you can choose any direction and focus on that direction for about 6 to 12 months. You cannot get results, you cannot get a success within 2 to 3 weeks. That is why you need to put your head down and focus for at least 6 to 12 months. See, this is where most people go wrong. Most people try to focus on so many things at one time. I also made these mistakes when I was just starting up. I was just focused on building different business at one time. I started my clothing brand, I started my content creation, YouTube crochet, I started my pickle business, I started my agency. Everything was jumbled up. I cannot focus on one thing. That is why it takes time and you cannot focus on one business. And that is why everything will fall apart if you try to focus on so many things at a time. That is why just pick one direction, pick one niche and focus, master it. Remember this, you cannot see results in just 2-3 weeks or even 1-2 months because you are building something extraordinary without the help of anyone. That is why it will take time. And after everything, after you drop out of college, after you accept your reality, after you start learning by yourself, and after you pick a direction, after you pick a niche, the most important thing that you need to be doing is to build an online presence. Whatever you are doing, whether it is selling a clothes, whether it is freelancing or pig farming or poultry farming or whatever it is very important to show the world, to show the people what you are doing. So create an online presence, You can use platforms like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it may be. Just create content, make a video about what you are doing, create a content around your work, and show it to your customer, show it to your audience. Because look, attention is a new currency. Where there is attention, there is money. See, most of the people in today's society, most of us, we spend our time on social media using our phone. So why not use that opportunity to grab their attention? You cannot go and connect with your customers, connect with your audience face to face in person. The only way you can connect with your audience and build trust is through content, is through social media. So build an online presence. And after that, the final step, the final action is to believe in yourself. No matter what you're going through, no matter even if you're having the worst moment of your life, you just have to believe that you can do it. Even the most impossible tasks, even the most impossible goals and dreams can be achieved with the right amount of self-belief. Why do you think Steve Jobs was able to build Apple?
What a computer is to me is it's the most remarkable tool that we've ever come up with.
I'm going to drop the interim title.
We used to stand at the intersection of technology and humanity.
Why do you think Jeff Bezos was able to build Amazon?
And so I looked at that and I was like, there's got to be, I should come up with a business idea and that get, on the internet and then let the internet grow around this and we can keep working on it. The founding idea of Amazon was to build universal selection of books. The biggest bookstores only had 150,000 titles.
Or why do you think Bill Gates was able to build Microsoft? It is not because of the money that they had, or not because of the employees, or not because of the investors. Of course, it all plays a part. They all play an important part in building their company. But the most important element, the most important thing is that they had a vision and they believe in themselves and that vision. That is why they were able to build it. Look, there will be times where you will doubt yourself, especially if you are a dropout student. You will doubt yourself, and people around you, even your teachers, they will call you, they will tell you that you are a failure. But all you gotta do is believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, who else is gonna believe in you? Okay, I will tell you a story about Richard Branson. He dropped out of high school, at the age of 16. Everyone considered him a failure. Even his teachers, they doubted that he cannot become successful. They said that, Richard, you cannot become successful. But instead of giving up, Richard Branson, he focused on his dream. He followed his dream and he started a youth magazine called The Student, which gave him the opportunity to build something from scratch. And later on, he went on and launched Virgin Record, one of the most prominent and one of the most popular brands in the entire history. So from this story, from Branson's story, we can learn that you don't need a degree, you don't need that piece of paper to become great. Look, dropping out of college doesn't mean you have failed. It simply means that you chose a different path to succeed. And now it is up to you to make it count. So don't sit around feeling sorry for yourself, feeling left behind, or feeling behind other people. Instead, take responsibility and start building, learn a skill, make money, and create opportunities for other people, create value. So now, shut this phone and go build something for yourself. And as always, I will see you guys next time.